Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudire Ashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Ruttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki Om Agnanatimirandasya Gnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे हरे श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter 10, Verse 19. अहं च योगेश्वरम् आत्मतत्त्वविदामुनीनां परमं गुरुं वै प्रष्टुं प्रवृत्तक्तिमिहारणं तत् साक्षाद्धरिं ज्ञानकलावतीर्णम्. I consider your good self the most exalted master of mystic power. You know the spiritual science perfectly well. You are the most exalted of all learned sages, and you have descended for the benefit of all human society. You have come to give spiritual knowledge. And you're a direct representative of Kapila Deva, the incarnation of God and the plenary portion of knowledge. I'm therefore asking you, O Guru, what is the most secure shelter in this world? As Krishna confirms in Bhagavad Gita, Yoginam api sarvesham adgatena antaratmana shraddhavan bhajate yomam same yuktatamo mataha. Of all yogis, he who abides in me with great faith, shraddhavan bhajate yomam, who abides in me with great faith, worshipping me, bhajate. Bhaja means loving service, transcendental loving service. He is most intimately united with me. Same yukta tamo. Yukta means connection. Yukta tara, yukta tama. Intimately united with me. And is the highest of all. Yoginam api sarvesham. So important point here is with great faith and transcendental loving service. One who has great faith in Krishna and who is worshipping him with love, he is most intimately united with Krishna and is the highest, best of yogis. Jadabharata was a perfect yogi. He was formerly the Emperor Bharat Maharaj and he was now the most exalted personality among learned sages and the master of all mystic powers. Although Jadabharata was an ordinary living entity, he had inherited all the knowledge given by the Supreme Person of Godhead, Kapila Deva. He could therefore be taken directly as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is the Sakshadharitvena. Yeah. As confirmed by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur in his stanzas to the spiritual master Sakshadharitvena Samasta Shastra. An exalted personality like Jadabharat is as good as the Supreme Person of Godhead because he fully represents the Lord by giving knowledge to others. So the important part here is representative. Because he accurately, perfectly, fully represents the Lord, he is considered as good as God. No other reason. Because he gives the knowledge of that Krishna wants to be distributed. Jadabharata is herein accepted as a direct representative of the Supreme Person of Godhead because he was imparting knowledge on behalf of the Supreme Lord. Yeah, so this is the understanding we should have. Not that suddenly somebody has become God, uh, not for any other reason, just because they are imparting knowledge. Guru are direct representatives of Krishna. Therefore, Maharaja Rahugana concluded that it was appropriate to ask him about Atma Tattva, the spiritual science. Tadvignanartham Sadguruvem Vagbhigachet. This Vedic injunction is also confirmed herein. If anyone is at all interested in knowing the spiritual science, he must approach a guru like Jadabharata. So one has to be interested in knowing spiritual science. Diksha is for this. One should be interested in knowing spiritual knowledge, in knowing about Krishna, in understanding about how to serve him, Sambandha, Videya, Prayojana. So unless one is interested, why to go to Guru? So, and Guru, uh, he Shrotriyam Brahmanishta. Shrotriyam. He has also heard and is fixed in that Brahman knowledge. So he can give that, give the science. He can explain the science to the student. So student who is interested in understanding the science, spiritual science, should approach a guru. Prabhupada says this many places, saying that it's not some passion to have a guru. So one must, so the whole relationship with guru is based on Shravanam, because this is about giving Brahmagyan. Savai bhavalloka nirekshanartham avyaktalingo vicharatyapि svit yogeshwaranam gatimanda buddhihi katham vichakshita gruhanubandaha. It is not a fact that your good self is is it not a fact that your good self is the direct representative of Kapila Dev? To examine people and see who is actually a human being and who is not, you have presented yourself to be a deaf and dumb person. Hmm? To examine people, which means human beings, and see who is actually a human being and who is not. Dharmena hina pashubi samana. Are you not moving this way upon the surface of the world? I'm very attached to family life and worldly activities, and I am blind to spiritual knowledge. Nonetheless, I am now present before you and I am seeking enlightenment from you. How can I advance in spiritual life? See, this is the question all of us need to ask, right? We're all attached to family life and worldly activities. Though we have spiritual knowledge, we are still blind because we're not able to apply it. So, question: how can I advance in spiritual life? So, this question we should ask every devotee, exalted devotee who can guide us. We should ask this: how can I advance? Although Maharaja Rahugana was playing the part of a king, he had been informed by Jadabharat that he was not a king, nor was Jadabharat deaf and dumb. Such designations were simply coverings of the spirit soul. Everyone must come to this knowledge, as confirmed in Bhagavad Gita, Dehinosmin yatha dehe. Everyone is encased within the body. Since the body is never identical with the soul, the bodily activities are simply illusory. In the association of such a sadhu as Jadabharat, Maharaja Rahu Gana came to the awareness that his activities as the royal authority were simply illusory phenomena. So this is very interesting, right? Even still after coming to devotion also, devotees still are too concerned about their material activities, material duties. And we should just understand that it's simply illusory. But because we already got stuck in the illusion, we are expected to just carry on our responsibilities without attachment for the pleasure of the Lord. Hmm? So there's one devotee was asked to speak on karma yoga, and it's very painful to me that person was pretty much senior in Krishna consciousness, being in
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Prabhu.
consciousness. Yeah,
Prabhu, your voice is a little low today.
though
Not
my
sure.
voice is low because my throat is not okay.
Oh, okay, okay. Okay, Prabhu. Sure, no problem.
Yeah, that's
Continue.
all I can speak. So he was talking to some devotees about karma yoga. And the definition somewhat was like you do your karma and everything will be all right. Now, I don't know where this is coming from or what this is based on, that you do your karma and everything will be all right. This is not even karma yoga, right? So we have to be very careful, right? When we are presenting spiritual knowledge, we should not concoct knowledge to our convenience, because so much of effort goes in to present the absolute truth as it is. And small dilution will actually create a big havoc. So we have to be very, very careful, and especially this topic, I'm seeing very few devotees understand this karma, how to engage in karma, or what is the importance of karma in a devotee's life. Somehow everybody is trying to explain it in a way which is convenient to themselves. But we should not do that. Right? So we should understand our karma, our act duties, material duties are simply illusory, right? Just because we are devotees, and if we just give up work, then the whole world will follow, and it will result in a lot of chaos. And we might also not be at a mature stage to give up work. We are not expected to give up work, but doesn't mean that we are expected to continue work or be attached to work, or expect that by our work everything will be all right, and that is bhakti. I felt really very bad hearing that definition. And the do what is bhakti? Do your karma, then everything will be all right. So we have to be very careful. If we don't know Shastra, we should not sit on the Vyasasana. It's unfortunate. He therefore agreed to receive knowledge from Jadabharata, and that was the beginning of his perfection. So this is also very important. We have to agree to receive knowledge, not simply hearing. Hearing is of no use if we don't want to accept the knowledge we are hearing. If we are just hearing for just maybe we want to either show off that we have knowledge, or just, yeah, I mean, so many other reasons why people sit and hear, but not to receive the knowledge. They have not agreed to receive knowledge. And that was the beginning of his perfection. So just wanting to receive knowledge is the beginning of our perfection, because that is what is going to take us to the perfect stage of perfection. Person like Maharaja Rahogana, who was very inquisitive to know the value of life and the spiritual science, must approach a personality like Jadabharat. Tasmad. Tasmat means therefore. Therefore means one who is inquisitive, one who wants to inquire, to understand about the spiritual science. Tasmat. Therefore, Gurum Prapadyeta. Jignasu Shreya Uttamam. One must approach a guru like Jadabharata, representative of the Supreme Person of Godhead, to inquire about the goal of human life. Not to try and make this material life comfortable. Prabhupada used to say that, people, even today we see, in our preaching, people come to us and then say, please bless my child. What? Let his exam be okay. Somebody else calls saying that I'm giving an interview. Please bless that my interview will be all right. And then Prabhupada used to say this, and now we are experiencing firsthand. So people come not for understanding the goal of human life, but for just getting whatever they want, and getting remaining stuck in this material world. That is the intention. But sadhus are supposed to break that illusion, not to, you know, yeah, not to encourage that illusion. So we have to be very careful. We have big responsibility as preachers, as individuals who can understand, hear and understand Shastra, because many people unfortunately are very naive, simple-hearted. They can't understand Shastra. Then they'll just follow whatever has been told. So those who are in the position of telling, we have to be proper representatives of the parampara, not create our own some kind of distortion. So we have to. Whole idea of preaching is to help one understand how to advance in spiritual life. This is the goal of spiritual life. I mean, this is the goal of bhakti, right? But yeah, it's important that this is maintained. This focus is maintained. That we are here just to please Krishna. There is nothing else. It's a simple two-word definition. Bhakti means pleasing Krishna. That's all. Over. Nothing else needs to be said. Everything else is you know, just there because it's there. I mean, it's not required to please Krishna. Mm. So we have to make sure we understand that, and we communicate the same to people who are coming to us. Mm. They want to advance materially. There are so many other ways. Why should they come to us? Might not even be experts to advise them how to improve my material life, how to advance in material life. Maybe there are so many other materialistic people who know much better than devotees. So we are not supposed to be encouraging this thought process. We are supposed to help people advance in spiritual life. Dristashrama karmata atmano vai bhartur gantur pavataschanumanye yatha sato danayanadhyabhavat samula ishto vyavahara margaha. You have said, I am not fatigued from labor, although the soul is different. So this is nice. This is his illusion. Possibly this is also many of our illusion about how to think about the soul. You have said, I am not fatigued from labor. Although the soul is different from the body, there is fatigue because of bodily labor. This is okay. And it appears to be the fatigue of the soul. Actually, it is true in the sense that because we don't know what the soul is, we maybe sometimes equate this soul to the mind and think, yeah, I am feeling very tired. It's not, I am not feeling very tired. My body is tired and the mind is feeling the tiredness, right? And because the soul is identifying with the body, it's also experiencing, seems to be experiencing this, but the soul in the reality, in actuality is not experiencing any fatigue. So, Rahugana is saying, when you're carrying the palanquin, there is certainly labor for the soul. This is my conjecture. So he's very clear saying, this is my conjecture. This is not, I don't think this is the truth. This is what I just think. You also said that the external behavior exhibited between the master and the servant is not factual, meaning king and the citizens. But although in the phenomenal world it is not factual, the products of the phenomenal world can actually affect things. Yeah, it is not factual, meaning it's not like eternal, but whatever is there here is also affecting things. True. If the servants, like for example, the traffic rules, if people don't have follow traffic rules, it's going to affect things, right? So yeah, it affects things. This is true. That is visible and experienced. Yeah, we can see that and we can experience this. As such, even though material activities are impermanent, they cannot be said to be untrue. Yeah, it's true. This is true. But this conjecture is wrong. That when you are carrying the palanquin, there's certainly labor for the soul. It appears to be the fatigue of the soul. This is a discussion on impersonal Mayavad philosophy and the practical philosophy of Vaishnavas. The Mayavad philosophy explains this phenomenal world to be false, but Vaishnava philosophers do not agree. Jagan Mithyam, they say. No, not Jagan Mithya. Jagat is just Tathkalik. They know that the phenomenal world is temporary manifestation, but it is not false. A dream that we see at night is certainly false, but a horrible dream certainly affects the person seeing it. The soul's fatigue is not actual, but as long as one is immersed in the illusory bodily connection, one is affected by such false dreams. So this is just we have to understand that whatever I am getting affected with today is only it's all limited to the mind, and it's an illusion. It's not real. As in because I'm just so bodily connected, I feel that okay, this is so important. Oh, okay, what does it mean? Their pain for the body. We've discussed this. Their pain for the body? No, because body is dead. So what? Who is experiencing pain? This false ego. False ego is experiencing pain. As in, because there is false ego, there is an experience of pain. Because the body is dead. So dead body is not cannot experience anything. But because Atma is there, then false ego is there, and false ego is by the influence of false ego, soul is also thinking it's the body, and since there is seems to be some experience of pain. Mm, When dreaming, it is not possible to avoid the actual effects, and the conditioned soul is forced to suffer due to its dream. So the other way of understanding this, right? Like the body is a machine. Uh, if there's a fan and you don't switch on the fan, the fan is there, but it's useless. So the important thing is to switch it on. Similarly, the body is there, but body is useless. Body cannot experience any pain, but because the soul is present in the body, the nervous system, etc., is working, and there seems to be a sense of pain. right? But that sense of pain is not, I mean, that is not paining the body. Whatever pain we are experiencing, that is not paining the body because the body is dead, right? And the Atma is spiritual. Atma cannot experience this pain because its pain is to the material body. So then how are we experiencing whatever that is called as pain? It's just because of this attachment. And when we come to Krishna consciousness, we practice Krishna consciousness over a period of time. Certain of our sufferings we just become get used to. Meaning, okay, somebody or even not even Krishna consciousness, even ordinary people who have no understanding of Krishna consciousness. So, for example, somebody has knee pain. Now, after so many years of treatment, nothing has happened. Finally, they could just get used to the knee pain. Now, it's in the background. So they don't feel the pain as much as they used to feel when they first started experiencing this knee pain. Because there is too much of attachment when the pain is new, and the attachment is to actually try and get rid of the pain. Can I solve for it? So we are very focused, thinking about the pain, how to get rid of the pain. And so that pain seems to be very, very, it's too much to deal with. But as we age and the pain doesn't go away, then we understand, okay, this is going to live with, I have to live with this pain. Then that same pain seems to be affecting us less. So it's also a matter of acceptance of our situation. So we can understand even though the pain is there, I'm not affected as much. When dreaming, it is not possible to avoid the actual facts, and the conditioned soul is forced to suffer due to his dream. A water pot is made of earth and is temporary. Actually, there's no water pot. There's simply earth. However, as long as the water pot can contain water, we can use it in that way. It cannot be said to be absolutely false. So there's no water pot as such, as in that's not the eternal existence, right? Eternal existence is simply earth. But now earth has been transformed into a water pot, which is useful to carry water. So we'll use it that way. There's no issue with that. But we have to simply see the water pot as also earth only in a particular form. So it's not false, but it's not the eternal existence also. The eternal or whatever, right? More permanent existence is the earth. So similarly, this body is there, but it's simply Panchamahabhuta. That's all. It's taken a particular form. And the soul is just because of its attachment to this ball of material substance. It's just, yeah, it's just the material substance has come together in some form. And because the soul, through false ego, seems to be attached to this form, that we are experiencing pain. But we have to understand. Some people argue saying that no, no, but actually there is pain. No, there is pain. There is like nervous system, and then you know, it's pain, and I'm not able to tolerate it. Yeah, which is true in the sense the mechanism of the body allows you to experience that pain, but that is also just because the soul is present and consciousness is present in the body. But the soul is not experiencing the pain. It's just a perception of pain. As in, the pain is there and not there. The pain is not there because the body is dead. Pain is there, or pain can be experienced because there is Atma and consciousness. But that pain is not the pain of the soul. The pain is mechanical. So we can choose to ignore that pain if we wish to. So we have to come to the platform of spiritual knowledge, do sadhana, bhakti, and then slowly we can overcome that. Anyway, so the whole discussion here is about how the soul is different. That's what Jada Bharat will explain, that the body and the soul are different, right? The pain or whatever that is being experienced by the body is not actually experienced by the soul. But because of the attachment, the soul seems to be experiencing it, but it's not actually experienced by the soul because the soul is spiritual. Is that okay? Some blah blah? Did I speak some nonsense? Is it clear? Do I have to explain it again?
Yeah, Prabhu.
What should I
Hare
explain?
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yeah.
Prabhu, if the body is not experiencing the pain, the soul is not experiencing the pain,
Then who is
but
experiencing the
then who is experiencing?
pain? Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
so it is the attachment that we are
Yeah.
attaching with the body is why we are feeling the pain.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, see, the mechanism is there. The body mechanism is there. For example, there are nerves, there's nervous system, right? But all these are also there in the dead body, right? But there is no experience of that pain, even though there might be something called pain, right? Mm. And in the alive person who is alive, is the same pain which is the sensations, matra sparsha. That's why Krishna is saying matra sparsha to sparshas to kaunteya. So it's a sense perception. Now this sense perception is also there in the dead body, just that there is nobody to experience it. That
So the
body,
difference between the dead body and the live one is only of the consciousness.
yeah, is the
So it
presence of
is the
Atman.
consciousness which is
Yeah,
making us feel the
correct,
pain.
correct. Yes, and this consciousness is called contaminated consciousness. So the consciousness, we understand that the consciousness is the property of the soul, right? That the soul is present is understood by the existence of consciousness in the body. This is ABCD, right? Like Bhagavad Gita. Prabhupada explains this, that the consciousness is the characteristic of or indication that the soul is present in the body. But this consciousness is now contaminated consciousness because the soul seems to be attached to the body, thinking that the body is itself soul, as in that is the illusion, right? So because of that, what we have right now is what is called as material consciousness, contaminated consciousness. So the
Is
consciousness
why
is
we feel
there.
the pain.
Yeah. So because there is contaminated consciousness, we are feeling the we are feeling the pain of the pain. Can you explain? Understand this? We're feeling the pain of the pain, meaning the pain, the pain is mechanical. For example, if you have pain in your body, I don't experience it. I can only see you experiencing that pain, right? So
Mm.
the pain is mechanical, is there in that body as a mechanical system, as a mechanical experience. But the soul is actually something which is not at all connected to the pain of the body, because the soul is spiritual and the body is material. Um, how else can I explain this? So same thing, the the body which is the dead body, right? If you punch the dead body, so there is the same neurons, the same nervous system, the same muscles, the same whatever is there in the uh, in a alive body is also there in the dead body, and the same mechanical responses, etc., could I mean, we can understand it's the same experience that is going on, like you hit, then there are some muscle is hit or some bone is hit, and there is, there is a certain amount of pressure that the muscle can experience as a material object. Right. And then because more than that, it can explode, it can break, it can whatever, right? This is because it's just a material substance. Now, yeah, or simply put, for example, say you have a dead body and you take a hammer and just, hit the the dead body. Maybe, you hit it so badly that the bone cracks, for example, right? Just to make it more vivid. So the bone cracked because the bone couldn't take more pressure than this that we hit the bone with, right? No, but so there is that bone fracturing is a mechanical thing which is breaking down. Now, uh, when the consciousness is there, the bone breaking, because it's a material substance, there is a sense of pain. There's a sense of pain. So, and that pain is being experienced by the soul, not just because of the attachment of the soul to the body. So same thing, for example, if you are slightly advanced in Krishna consciousness, then like you can have a headache and you can still go on giving a class. It doesn't matter. Right? We've all experienced this, right? Or even materially, right? For example, you have some very important, you have a function or something going on and somebody is sick. They'll still go on, do whatever they need to do without getting really affected by that bodily inconvenience. Which means that the consciousness was diverted. The consciousness did not remain in the body, as in the consciousness. That's why you said, don't divert your consciousness. What is the divert your consciousness? Means that you can just you can avoid the feeling of pain just if you move your mind elsewhere. And so we have to understand that this is not real. This is just because I'm attached. I am taking this so seriously because I'm attached to this body. And if I don't take it too seriously, I can just bear the pain, tolerate. Tam stitikshasva bharata. That's why Krishna is saying that, yeah, there is pain, but you can tolerate it. If you're not attached, you can tolerate. Of course, in very rare cases, the pain is so much that a person dies. Right? That is why on earth, the pain given is bearable, manageable pain. So that is why Krishna is saying you tolerate. This is for normal karma phala, normal situations that we can simply tolerate. Okay, I have a pain tooth. See, just think about this, right? For example, if somebody has a toothache, what can that toothache actually do to us? What can it do to us?
It will just pain us more.
Yeah, I mean, nothing else. There's nothing else it can do. It's not, we're not going to die, right? It's just the pain. And see, what does medical science do? English medicine. What does it do? It gives you a painkiller. What does this painkiller mean? The pain is still there. So stop feeling it, isn't it?
Mm.
So we should understand that it's just like this, either we can take a painkiller and stop the perception of pain, or we can be just, more progressed in spiritual life, and we can just maybe tolerate the pain, understanding that the pain really can't do anything and it will go in some time when it has to go, because it's just something that I have to go through. But please understand, the important thing to understand here is that the soul is not experiencing any the real pain. It's just because of the attachment that that pain has become so important for me, and hence I'm feeling it. Again, I mean, I give the same example again and again. This vehicle, somebody is too attached to their vehicle, uh, and that vehicle is scratched, and that person is feeling so miserable because of that, just because of that person's attachment to the vehicle. That's all. Right? He's not experiencing that pain himself. Just because he's attached to that vehicle, he's experiencing. He's feeling pain, as in just feeling bad. In other words. So if we wish, we can tolerate. And Krishna also is saying this, that we have to tolerate. Okay, is that okay?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
I would like to just share regarding this.
Yeah.
His Holiness Bhakti Vikas Maharaj, he had a very bad tooth pain. So it had to be, that root canal had to be done. But Maharaj didn't take any painkiller. And he said, I am not this body. You carry on with your treatment without any painkiller. And he got that root canal done without taking any painkiller.
Yeah,
Mm.
very, I mean,
Yeah.
exalted souls can do that. We
Yes,
can't.
yes.
We can't.
So
But we can
that's what.
understand
Yeah.
that is the consciousness we should reach.
Yes.
Okay. Anything else? I think we can stop here. The questions. Okay, we'll stop here then. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, वांछा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिंधुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। आनंद कोटि वैष्णव की जय। हरे कृष्णा।
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Pranam.
Pranam to everybody assembled.